Hi, Revive fam. I am so glad to be back on with another chat, another video. Now, today's word from God, pay attention. That's what we're talking about today. And I can't wait to dive into what he shared with me to share with you. But before we do, I want to say first, if this is your first time joining us on the Revive Ministries channel, we want to say welcome. Welcome to our family. We are so glad that you decided to click on the thumbnail and join us in this video. So I'm glad to have you. I know all of our family members are glad to have you. So welcome to our channel. And now that you've officially clicked, now you're a part of our family. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on anything that God shares with me to share with you to next level you in your relationship and your walk with Christ. So next thing, maybe you're listening to this and you find that this is striking a chord, but it's not just striking a chord for you. Maybe you had a conversation with someone about this same thing and you're thinking, you know what? They need to hear this. Go ahead and share this link, share this video, because here we're not stingy. We want everyone to have access and we want everyone to know what God has to say to them so that it can also help them in their relationship and their walk with Christ. So 2 things: subscribe if you are new, if you're a new family member, and share this video. So if you are an A1 Day One, welcome to another chat. I'm so glad to be back on here with you. And I'm excited. I'm excited about what God has to share with us. And let me start by saying this. Initially, I had a couple of other messages to share, something that God gave me about a week or 2 ago. And as I was going over what he shared with me, it just wasn't sitting right. It was like, okay, I didn't feel like that's what he wanted me to share with you this week. So this week, it was Monday, Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, God, what is going on? Am I missing something? What is it? I just don't feel like what I have here is what you want me to share at this time. So I kind of, I pulled away and just got quiet and spent more time with him, just in silence. I'm like, God, show me what you want me to share, because I know what I have. It doesn't feel like that's what you want me to share. So on yesterday, he began to share this with me, and it actually, it rolled over into an experience that I had early this morning. So today's word, pay attention. And let me say this, before I got on, I was in my worship time. So if my eyes are just a little watery or puffy, that's why. But pay attention. Let's jump in. So what he kept telling me, pay attention, pay attention. So I'm like, okay, pay attention. What does that mean? What are you trying to say? What does that look like? And he started to share with me what it looks like, what he meant when he said pay attention. And what he showed me is where we are now in 2025. God is no longer doing a new thing. It's already done. 2024 was the time when he was preparing the table for you. 2025, the table is prepared. It's already done. There's no more preparation needed in 2025. You just have to take a seat. You just have to grab whatever it is that you sought him for, that he's promised you, that you've petitioned him for. It's done. But what he said is, while it's done, we need to pay attention. And this is what I mean. I'm going to share my experience that I had earlier today to kind of give it, to make it make sense. Okay. So when I run in the morning, I have a friend. I call him, he's like an angel. His name is Michael. Well, he's an older gentleman, but he's an avid runner. And he runs. I met him when I started running probably like 6 or 7 months ago. So every morning, Michael and I cross paths on the track. And it's funny because when I see him, he reminds me, he looks just like my dad. His demeanor, the way he looks, everything. It's like seeing my dad. Even to the point of when I'm exercising, when I'm jogging. I mean, the motivation he gives is just like, oh my goodness, this is like a replica of my dad. And if you know, my dad is no longer here on earth. So to meet Michael, it just was, when I met him, it was just very exciting. So because my dad and I used to jog, we used to exercise together. So when I met Michael, it was like, okay, it feels normal. It feels good. So here I am exercising. We know the weather has been really crazy. And in the past, like few weeks, I wouldn't even say few weeks. I would say in the last like 2 months, I noticed that Michael wasn't at the trail anymore. So my mind is like, okay, well, it's getting cold. So maybe Michael's like, you know what? I'm not coming out here in the cold. So again, it's been about 2 months since, I had seen Michael, and my mindset was, well, this weather is crazy. Michael isn't coming back out here probably until the springtime, or at least we're here in Texas. I'm like, at least until the weather gets better, because it's been very, very cold in the morning. So here I am with my mindset, Michael isn't coming back out here until spring. So early this morning, wrapped up, I was jogging and I was focused. I was in my zone. You know how when you're doing something and you're in a zone, it's like your tunnel vision. You can't see anything else around you. While there may be things going on around you, you're so focused at doing what you're doing, you're not even paying attention. It's like something could happen around you and it's like you wouldn't even know, which in that instance probably isn't good for me, or if you're out exercising or jogging or something. But as I'm jogging this morning, in my zone, music playing, and I'm getting it. Someone comes up in the front of me, comes from the left in the front of me, and just stands there. So I look up, ready to attack, actually, because I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? At that point, they were so close in my personal space, it was like I couldn't help but to see them. So I look up, and it's Michael. And let me tell you what I said to Michael. When I looked at him, I said, oh my goodness, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm going somewhere with this. I told him I wasn't even paying attention. So we started laughing and catching up, and that was it. Michael's back on the trail running again. So now again, let's go back to the story I shared. So as I was jogging this morning, I was in my zone. I was tunnel vision, had the music going. I was focused. I was just doing what was normal. And again, my mind was set that I wasn't going to see Michael again. So it really was no need to look around for him because I hadn't seen him in 2 months. So my mind was set to, I'll see him in the springtime. So here I am focused. But there he was. And in that instance this morning, God began to kind of draw everything together that he's been sharing with me over the past couple of days. How we can be in a zone. We can be so used to operating a certain way that we program ourselves to automatically think that way, when in reality, God has already done something new. We're still operating off of the norm, off of what was, off of what we think, off of what we're comfortable with, off of what we used to, when God has already done something new. And it's right there. It's right in front of you. But you can't see it because you're in the zone. We can miss it because we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention. And the scripture that God led me to was Isaiah 43:19. For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. And I want to hone into the first portion of this verse. For I am about to do something new. This is the part I want you to catch and what he emphasized. See, I have already begun, which means it's done. I've already started doing it. I'm not doing it. I've already started. I've already begun. See, I have already begun. Pay attention. I have already begun. I'm doing it now. So pay attention. Pay attention. The second part of this verse, do you not see it? Why wouldn't we see it? Go back to my story. I was tunnel vision. My mindset was set at a certain way, to think a certain way, because of what I saw, because of what I experienced. I didn't see Michael for a few days, so I just automatically set my mind to think, oh, he's not coming back out here. I won't see him until spring. Do you not see it? Are you still operating off of old ways of thinking? Are you still operating based on what has been the norm for your life when God has already done something new? Are you tunnel vision? Are you so focused on what you normally see, or what you're accustomed to, that you're not paying attention? Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Do you not see what I'm doing? Do you not see what I've done? Whatever you have petitioned to me, whatever I have promised you, whatever I told you that I would do for you in this season and last season, whatever things I promised to you that have not come to pass, and I told you I was going to do them in this season, in 2025, do you not see it? Pay attention. It's done. I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. So if it said I will make a pathway through the wilderness, that means apparently at one time there wasn't anything there. If he's creating the path, there was no path. There was nothing there to go through. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. So he's making things happen, or he's doing things where at one point something wasn't there, but he changed the situation around. And that's what he wants you to know. 2025, I have changed it. It's done. 2024, again, he was preparing the table. 2025, the table is set. There's no more preparation needed. It is done. Pay attention. From low bank account to overflow, it is done. From trying to find a job, you're looking, I've been looking, and all 2024, I was looking and trying to find and submit my resume here and putting in applications here and going here and nothing. From trying to find a job to standing in your workplace in 2025, it is done. From trying to get a business up and running to having to put a hold on receiving new business because you have so many people come into your business. You're like, hold on, God. Whoa. Where are all these people coming from? 2024, I was trying to market. I was trying to advertise. I was trying to get people to come. 2025, where are all these people coming from? Go back. I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. Pay attention. From trying to qualify for a home to being approved and getting your keys to move in. Pay attention. It is done. This one, from single to married. It is done. It's already been done. He's already done it. Pay attention. Preparation is over. It is done. It is finished. And the table is set. It's set. You just have to pay attention. And as I'm talking to you, what's coming to mind is, have you ever gone to a restaurant where you have to wait to be seated? And you're standing there, and it's not that the table hasn't been prepared. The table is ready for you, but you just have to pay attention and listen to when the person calls your name, when they say your name, Beard's party of, and you get up and you walk because it's ready for you. But you have to pay attention and listen for your name so that when they call you, you get up and you go to that table that's already been set for you. Your table has been set. Pay attention. Paying attention. It can require you to be still. Because we're so bombarded with everything that happens throughout the day, our daily activities, just our schedule, things that we're used to doing a certain way every day. It's like, this is just how I do it. But God is saying, pay attention. It's done. Drown out the noise. And it may require you to be intentional and take some time. Drown out all the noise. Even if you have to go get in your car, drive around. Or if you have to just go and find a quiet space with no one talking and sit one-on-one with God. Drown out the noise and pay attention. Paying attention. Observing in 2025. What's going on? What's going on around you? Like I mentioned earlier, we can be so used to doing things a certain way, or we can get so used to a certain mindset, or accustomed to something happening the way it happens, because that's how it always happens. Pay attention. Pay attention to even the small things, because even the small things, the small changes in your life are changes that God uses to open doors to even bigger things. So even when you're seeing small things, it may not be the promise in full, but maybe it's something that's going to lead you and direct you and get you to where He wants you to be. Pay attention. And I keep hearing this: God, open the eyes of my heart so that I will see. And that's my prayer for you in 2025, that God opens your heart, opens the eyes to your heart, so that you can see Him. You can see what He's doing. You have that communication and that connection with Him, that when something changes in your life, when something happens, you can see the change. You're not tunnel vision. But not only are your eyes looking, but your heart is also open to seeing what it is that He's doing for you in 2025. So God's word for you today in 2025, pay attention, because it's already done. 2025 is not a year of preparation. You did that. You did that in 2024. You did that in 2023. You did that in 2022. You may have even done it in 2021. Now is the time to get your reward. Now is the time for you to receive whatever it is that God has promised you. So pay attention. Revive fam, I pray that this word, first of all, that it reaches those who need to hear this. And I also pray that as you're continuing through 2025, that you remember this. Pay attention. No more operating the way we used to operate. No more thinking the way we used to think. Pay attention to what God is doing, because it's done. But we just have to silence the noise sometimes and get still, so that we can see what it is He's doing, or what it is that He's already done and prepared for us. Because it's done. Go back to the story I told you about what happened this morning when I saw Michael. When I looked up, he was right in my face. And that's how these blessings, these promises are going to be, because it's done. It's going to be right there. It's right in your face. But maybe you're just not paying attention. God, open the eyes of my heart. Revive fam, I love you all. And until next week's chat, be blessed.